Well, obviously, I'm starting the video because Michael's filling his big fat face again. What is going on, everyone? It's John, it's Michael, back again. And this is your final match preview of the season. It is Newcastle United versus Everton. Yeah, the last one of the season, Michael. Would you stop eating? Make it look professional. Jesus. Sure you can go 5 minutes without putting food in your mouth. Yeah. Last one of the season. We all hope you have had a blast following us this season. We were going to do a watch along, but Michael is away again on Sunday. I have been informed, so he has more holidays than the fucking Hayes owner, the Thomas Cook owner. Yeah, so here we are for the last one. Michael, Everton go to St James's Park. Obviously, Newcastle have got something to play for, Champions League qualification. It's very tight between a couple of teams up there. Everton really haven't got anything to play for. I don't think we can move in the league. I think we're cemented 13th place. What do you think about Sunday's game coming up?
Are we on? Are we on? Oh, what's going on, everyone? It's Mike back again. Hope you enjoyed me eating my Space Raiders. Fucking lovely. Right, yeah. John, you're right. Last game of the season. We all want the season to end, really, because we want the summer to start. This is the first time in a long time I'm actually excited. 15 players potentially leaving in total. We've already lost a few already. It's great. Look, we go into this game 13th. You're right, John. I think only Wolves can catch us. Apart from that, we're going to be 13th, 14th, 15th, something like that. I'm all cool with that. Tottenham, Man United, 16th, 17th. Worst Europa League final I've ever seen. John, we are where we are. I obviously want Everton to win. You know, I'd love to win 48 points. That would be great. Probably gives Forest a chance as well of getting back into that Champions League spot that they've absolutely pissed up a wall. But all jokes aside, the only thing I'm hoping for is that Dominic Calvert-Lewin goes up with the squad, stays in Newcastle, and then we drive home.
We had a conversation today how well David Moyes has done since he come into the club, and I've said for quite a while now, if David Moyes would have come into Everton 6 games earlier, Everton could have possibly been pushing for one of them European places. I actually believe that because of how well he's done. As you say, we can finish on 48 points. I actually think under David Moyes, the way David Moyes drills his teams and what he wants out of his teams, I think we've seen in seasons gone by that the last game, we've spoke about it on here, I think one of them was Man City, one of them was Arsenal. The players have had the flip-flops on. I do think you get more out of this Everton team on Sunday under the David Moyes, who will, you know, get them up for it or try and get them up for it a bit more. And listen, there could be players still there. I think David Moyes has probably made his decisions now on all these players who are out of contract, who he wants to keep, who we're going to offer contracts to. But there is players there, if they're not going to get offered a contract at Everton, put themselves in the shop window. So I think Everton, you know, we have done some good performances this season away from home, most notably Nottingham Forest. I think we can go to Newcastle. I think Newcastle got beat last time out. I think we can go to Newcastle, and if we can be arsed turning up, I think we're very capable of giving them a game.
Yeah, completely agree. And look, I do think we'll give them a game. I don't think David Moyes will just want to finish the season with a whimper, so I think we will give them a game. And it is, you're right, it's an opportunity for certain people to get themselves into certain shop windows. We know that Jared Branthwaite won't start. He's got a picked up hamstring injury. He's enjoying his summer holidays with a 5-week rehab. Bless him. I mean, that's typical, that is. Tarkowski's also out. So we do know that the two of those have got injuries. So that means our centre-half pairing could be quite interesting this week with Michael Keane and well, I'm not bothered about Jake O'Brien. I trust Jake O'Brien. But at right back, I think Coleman was injured from Goodison, so I've got no idea who's going to start right back. Left back.
Actually, you'll start at right back.
Yeah. on the left, it'll be Mikalenko. We already know that. Probably 2 in the middle is probably Garner and Garner. I think he'll start with the same 3 that he started with before. He might not risk Doucouré if Doucouré does have this offer on the table. He might say to him, "Look, don't play this game. Don't risk an injury before you've signed a contract or whatever." He might start.
Can I just jump in there? I'd play him if he's fit. Play him. At the end of the day, if he picks up an injury playing for Everton Football Club, that's nothing to do with us once his contract runs out. And if rumours are to be believed, Everton have actually offered him more than one of the contracts that's on the table. So if he's fit, you play him. Not our fault if he gets injured. Don't like players like that. And I know this is a match preview, but you've got me on one now, because Doucouré was doing all these interviews with certain podcasters, and he was doing interviews, and when he scored against Notts Forest, he was like that. But yeah, Everton have offered him more money than one of the contracts from another club that he's been offered. So he's doing all that. But he doesn't want to sign the contract what Everton have offered. I'm not being funny, mate. I wouldn't be asked if he gets injured. We haven't got to sort his rehab after the 30th of June. Yeah, thanks, Abdullah, for the goals you've scored, the important goals, but you're still getting paid by Everton, so you play.
Just for clarity, which contract has he been offered less money than the contract at Everton?
So David Moyes, I don't know if I've sent you it. David Moyes said something today that there's a contract on offer for him, that I think someone's offered more money, but there's also a contract being offered to him by some other club, which is less than what Everton offered him, and he's knocked it back.
No, then I ain't bothered about the money perspective, but
if he's fit, they're still paying his wages. You play him.
Yeah. If you want to play him, John, you play him. I mean, I'd rather play Alcaraz anyway, but if you want to play Doucouré, you play Doucouré, captain. I ain't going to stop you, my friend.
I'm not asked who plays, because Doucouré's going, and we don't know what's happening with Alcaraz, so that's down to the manager now, isn't it? But I certainly wouldn't be holding Doucouré back and saying, well, don't want you injured because you're signing for your next club. No, we're still paying him quite handsomely as well, by the way.
Yeah, I'm not doubting that. But does the element of, some of the goals he scored for Everton matter to you? No.
Well, no, it does. As I said before, I said a couple of minutes ago, he scored important goals for us. But I think David Moyes has made his mind up on Alcaraz by now. Now, I'm not bothered if Alcaraz plays or Doucouré plays, but I certainly wouldn't be not playing Doucouré because we don't want him to get injured in case he signs for the club.
Fair enough. So then I'll go with
Rob Barkley used us.
Yeah, I mean, we've had this debate before. I just think I've got a slightly bigger heart than you have, John, to be honest.
Trying to fucking swing and brick, but I'm done with sentiment with Everton Football Club.
No, fine, yeah. McNeil starts on the right and Beto starts up front for me.
Yeah.
I think Everton lose, if I'm being honest. I think Everton probably lose 2-1, but it sounds awful, but I'm not overly fussed. Like I obviously don't want to lose, but I just think Newcastle have got a lot more to play for than Everton have. They've looked quite good in recent weeks. They've got pace. They want Champions League football. It's a tall order for Everton to go there and win. But John, you are right. We are capable, and we've done it. We've gone to places where they've had stuff to play for them. We've got results. I mean, we went to Forest and won. We've picked up results away from home against a few teams. We beat the FA Cup winners at home. We've beaten the Europa League team at Goodison. Sorry, we lost at their place. So yeah, look, I think we're capable. I just think we don't. I think Newcastle win 2-1.
Newcastle have got a lot more to play for, as you're quite right with what you say. But again, I do give this Everton team a bit of a chance. Not a lot, just a bit of a chance. And only because David Moyes has them well drilled. And I've watched the training video from today, and you can see the intensity still there. And, it's the last training session a lot of these players are going to do for Everton Football Club. But the intensity was still there. Now, if you say you're going into this game with Sean Dyche managing you, then I reckon we get beat 4-5-0. I reckon we get dicked easily. But I just think under David Moyes, I do give us a little bit of a chance. It is small. As I said, we've got nothing to play for. They have. But we give them a game last season at St James's Park when we got a draw out the game. So I don't see any reason why we can't. If David Moyes drills this group of players for one last push, final game of the season, and you've got to bear in mind as well, Everton fans are making that journey up there as well. No hard-earned money. David Moyes sort of gets that way, the way I look at it. So if we can perform, and if our, big game players, which we haven't got many of, can put a performance in, I reckon we could get a draw out the game. I'm going 1-1.
Hopefully, mate. Hopefully. Right, guys, I think we'll leave it there. The love on the video for Goodison's been mad. I think it's up to 18,000 views. So thank you for your love and your support. We haven't done loads of videos this week, but it will start ramping up as we start kicking into the summer. It'll be back to sort of daily transfer rumour videos, I would have thought. The other thing just to mention, I think it's really important to mention, is I am going on holiday again. So it's tremendous, really. So I suspect that John will be doing the match reaction on Sunday with Frankie, but obviously I don't know what their plans are. They might be having a cheeky little barbecue in the rain on Sunday while I'm sunning myself up in Calador, Mallorca. Until then, guys, see you soon. Up the toffees, and I hope you enjoyed me eating at the start of the video.